Hello everyone, and welcome to my first official video as the Agent 777. And today I've chosen to talk about the state of Christian hip-hop / rap. Now before I get into the current state of it today, first I'd like to give you a brief history of Christian rap itself. Now, Christian hip-hop / rap is a subgenre of rap that differentiates itself from the other subgenres by containing a clear Christian message, and in its beginning stages denied any connection to any global hip-hop culture. In other words, they opted to stay to themselves and did not want to be connected to anyone who wasn't Christian hip-hop, as in not being featured in any of their songs or having their songs being associated with them. Anyway, Christian rap itself emerged from small underground scenes in the 1980s with very little to no mainstream attention, and emphasized the use of positive and uplifting messages to promote faith and believe in God. Now, as for recording, the first known recording of a Christian hip-hop song was in 1982 by a Queens, New York rapper called McSweet. The track was entitled Jesus Christ, the Gospel Beat. As for the first full-length Christian hip-hop album, that was released in 1985 by an Oklahoma artist who goes by the name of Stephen Wiley. The album was called Bible Break, and with this first Christian LP came the first Christian hit on radio, with the title track from Wiley's Bible Break album peaking at the number 14 spot in 1986 on Christian radio. He was even nicknamed the Grandmaster of Rap in a 1988 Spin magazine article. Oh, and a fun fact before we move on, Stephen Wiley's the one who wrote Curtis Blow's 1985 hit song, Basketball. In the same year, David Guzman founded JC and the Boys, and out of this crew came some of Christian rap's biggest names, such as Michael Peace, SFC, Soldiers for Christ, Dynamic Twins, MC Peace, and my personal favorite Christian rap solo artist, T-Bone. Now in the late 1980s, Christian rap would see the emergence of the End Time Warriors, Soldiers for Christ, and the soon-to-be kings of Christian music himself, DZ Talk, with rapper Toby Mac and singers Kevin Max and Michael Tate. Now it's time to enter the 90s, which saw the rise of rap groups DOC, Disciples of Christ, and my personal favorite Christian rap group, Gospel Gangsters, from Compton and South Central Los Angeles. Christian hip-hop as a business was furthered in 1994 when the DC Talk member Toby Mac formed Goatee Records in 1994. It was the first label marketed explicitly for Christian hip-hop and R&B, and was also among the first to market Christian contemporary music through distribution at Christian bookstores and playing on Christian radio. Lastly, more recently, a number of artists and labels such as Reach Records and Reflection Music Group have purposely marketed to people outside of churches, with Christian rap artists like Lecrae and his label mates from Reach Records setting records with sales and award-winning albums. And now it's time to discuss what I think about the current state of Christian hip-hop. Now, as far as I'm concerned, current Christian hip-hop doesn't really exist anymore, since no one wants to be classified or called a Christian rapper anymore. I can remember in the early 2000s when I really got into it, well, the music from then anyway, everyone would own being called a Christian rapper and all that. Also in the 90s and late 80s and so forth. But these days people don't like being classified that, because if you're being called a Christian rapper, you'll have these close eyes on you to see if you make one little mistake or tolerate this one single thing. So they're just these days they're just rappers that are Christian who make music. I mean, like, look at rappers like NF, who were first called Christian rappers, because at that time, like say 2015, 16, his music contained more sayings of God and so forth and his faith. But come later on, he denied ever being a Christian rapper, and his albums just disappeared from Christian charts. But he's still a really successful artist. Him and Lecrae have both denied being Christian rappers, and so have all rappers anyway, since that would just make them explicitly just Christian rappers who can only make Christian music for Christian audiences or anyone else who would even care to listen. Yeah, so I think the term itself like shouldn't even exist right now, the term of being a Christian rapper, because for artists these days it's basically an on and off thing, where on some tracks they're more mentioning God and being Christian and whatnot, and on other tracks they're talking about other things, like maybe to motivate you or something about their lives, being emotional, like other rappers these days trying to sing and so forth. So like Christian rap music itself still exists, but only on separate songs, not like you can't point at one album that was really, really, really Christian all through in 2018, 2017, and maybe even possibly 2016. And another thing gone, really, really gone from the genre or subgenre these days is the diversity of the genre. I mean, like, because as we can all remember, we can't talk about any subgenre of rap without mentioning mainstream rap itself. So I can remember back in late 80s, 90s, there were different styles of rap dominating at the same time. There was gangster rap, there was jazz rap, there was even pop rap that dominated at the time, and all these styles coexisted and found success together because multiple people listened to multiple things, and they all kind of had equal markets, even though like gangster rap was winning all the time, but still everyone managed to find success, which is pretty much gone these days, because like today there are like two dominating forms of rap, and that's normal trap music, mumble rap, which is such a gone term right now. Yeah, so mumble rap, pop rap is still here. Then there's normal trap music, and what I like to call normal rap music, I guess. I can't really pin something on there because artists are constantly changing genres, crossing over and such and forth, so no one can really be pinpointed. But basically gangster rap is still sort of winning, or swagger rap if that's what you want to call it, but not as much subgenres that were succeeding at the same time as the 90s in particular. So with this, like most Christian rap these days focuses on trap music and having trap beats, and some have even opted to collaborate with mainstream artists, such as on Lecrae's latest album, which was with mainstream producer Zaytoven. I mean, I don't mind an entire album being produced by Zaytoven because beats can't really hurt anybody anyway. But then on the album he did a track with Waka Flocka Flame. If you don't know, it's a very mainstream sort of party rapper, sort of, I guess, street rapper, sort of. It sounds so weird saying this. And it kind of caught me by surprise because I know like Lecrae isn't a Christian rapper like that, but he is still Christian, and he never curses in his songs or anything like that, and he's always like representing for Jesus and so forth. So it kind of took me back and kind of made me disgusted, I guess you could say, when I saw him collaborate with someone like Waka Flocka Flame. and he even collaborated on his album before that. I forgot what it was called, but yeah, he even collaborated with him, with Ty Dolla $ign, on a song called Blessings, which is really a great song, like really good song. But still, because God says, like, whoever's around you and whatever you do should represent me or be a liking of me, and to do everything in His name. So if you're making music with like rappers who like to smoke weed, rappers who do all these mainstream things, curse in your songs, and give out bad messages, then that will reflect back on you as you not caring about any of that. So that's basically my take. I basically find mainstream Christian rap music these days, at least most of it, to be very repetitive and samey in spaces. There's really not much to differentiate, really not much difference between the artists. Like Lecrae, Andy Mineo, Tadashi, even these days, even though he's been around for a while. Derek Minor, all of them, they basically can fall into the same track and not really give anything really different. So yeah, that's basically the current state of Christian rap / hip-hop. It is repetitive, serviceable at points, but really repetitive and not representing itself well enough or differentiating itself to be for God enough. Because anyone could listen to Christian hip-hop these days, or what people could call Christian hip-hop, and there wouldn't be a really big difference in message from normal hip-hop that is made by any other contemporary mainstream artists. Anyway, this has been the Agent 777. That's how I stand on the current state of Christian hip-hop. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and welcome to my channel.